you all. I'm going to ask you guys, I know the last session I did a lot of talking, but what do you expect to get out of this session? What do you want to know? Go ahead.
Like guys that makes them get hired sometimes?
Okay, great, great. How many of you are graduating this year? Okay. How many of you are going to be starting college this year? Okay, good. And how many of you are working? Great, great. I know you heard a lot about this morning about how important it is to work and go to school at the same time. So what I want to talk about are the jobs. So one of the things that makes it so easy today is that we have access to a computer. There are jobs everywhere, and there is not one person in this room that isn't going to get a job. It's just a matter of hunting them out. So what I did, especially because I do it all the time, I'm always looking to see what jobs are out there for students. Although I worked in business for many years, I'm actually moving on into education. So right now I substitute teach in the East Brunswick School District, and I teach high school, middle school, and junior high school. And mostly I teach more of the ILA, business, math, any of the higher level subjects, the science subjects. And so basically I just want to give you a little bit of background on me. I went to I graduated high school, and my parents couldn't afford to send me to college, so I came to Middlesex County College. I worked as a waitress while I went to college. My degree from Middlesex County College is in medical technology, so I have a science background. When I was at Middlesex County College, I had an opportunity to work in the internship program, so I worked in a lab in Perth Amboy Hospital for free. I had to put in 1,400 hours at that job, and then at night I would go to work with a white uniform on. I'd come home and I'd change into another white uniform, and I'd go and I'd waitress. And I did that like for a long time, probably since I was 16 till I was 19. It took me 3 years to get through Middlesex County College because I was working at the time. I had an opportunity, though, at Middlesex County College to interview with companies for jobs. Johnson & Johnson came in, and I had signed up for an interview. And I interviewed with Johnson & Johnson, got a job. And I worked night shift, and what I did was I did quality assurance in a lab on products like baby shampoo and baby powder and things like that. Then what happened was that one of the executives asked me if I wanted to work in microbiology at Ortho Pharmaceutical. And I said, yeah, I would love to do that. So I was doing microbiology at Ortho Pharmaceutical, and I was making really good money, and I was working with the marketing department at the time too. So they moved me over to Johnson & Johnson Consumer Products, and I was working so much with the marketing department, and I got so in love with the whole discipline of marketing, doing product development, that I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree from Rutgers University in marketing. And at the same time, Johnson & Johnson paid you to go to school for certain classes, but most of that I had to pay for myself. And after I did that, I decided that I wanted to go for a master's degree. So once again, I enrolled in school and I worked, and I got my master's degree. And when I got my master's degree, I have a younger brother who's a very good musician, so I decided that I wanted to get into the music industry. So I hopped a train and went into Manhattan and met with a placement agency called Lisa LeBeau. And to this day, they send me a birthday card every year. But I interviewed at Polygram Records, which is now Universal Music Group. And I worked at Polygram Records, and I started, even though I had a master's degree, as an executive assistant working for a senior vice president of finance. and he got fired. And I thought I was going to get fired too. But the president of the company, Alon Levy at the time, asked me to work in the executive suite. So I spent time there, and I would get up at 5:30 in the morning, and I would get home 9 o'clock at night. But what happened was, it kind of got me recognition in the company, and they gave me promotion, put me into new technologies. And from there on, I worked in the global initiative for electronic music, which you all listen to now today on your on iTunes and things like that. So I started off in that area, and from there I worked at Gannett as a marketing director. I worked at Brunswick Mobility as a marketing director, and then I decided I wanted to go into education to help students like yourselves get jobs. So that's just a little bit about me. So when you think about it, there's a lot of opportunity out there. If you don't have money to go to school, there's ways to do it. And when I look back, I go like, at the time, I couldn't believe I could do it. But when I look back, I'm really glad that I did, because it gave me an opportunity to be where I am today. What I wanted to do was, how many of you are looking for a job? Okay. How many of you have ever searched online for a job? Okay, great. How many of you have searched online for a job and got the job? Good. Okay, great. Well, there's many ways to get a job. One of the things, many ways to get a job. One of the things, and this is probably the easiest way to do it on Craigslist, because there are a lot of entry-level jobs on Craigslist. If you go to the higher, like Monster.com, employers have to pay a lot of money to post their job postings, so Craigslist has a lot of opportunities for people that are just starting out. Okay, we're going to go to marketing. I'm going to click on internship, and I'm going to hit search. So one of the jobs that I guess we pulled up in the last class is, no, it's not that one. Hold on a second. It's probably the other one. Seeking marketing interns. Could somebody read that for me? Go ahead.
So then,
Yeah, go ahead.
Study App is an experienced mobile and enterprise application company harnessing the power of the popular mobile platforms. Study App offers mobile application development of Windows, iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry, amongst other mobile and web development services. Study App is built of a myriad of mobile solutions, including but not limited to games, utilities, and a host of business applications that bridge seamlessly with internal business processes. At a time when many mobile applications appear to be add-ons, Teller App has experience and the robust mobility platforms to produce the most effective applications possible. Teller App also builds and deploys its own mobile apps for the general public across multiple categories of platforms.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Requirements. Okay. So you're looking for personality. All of you have personality. So they're looking for people of academic status above high school. So this job's for somebody that's probably just entering college. Strong writing skills a must. Must be available for a minimum of 15 hours per week. Does everybody have a resume here? Okay. If you were going to apply for this job, would you send out your resume as it currently stands, or would you tailor that to meet this job? Right, exactly. One of the things, I'm guilty of it too, I did it once, is blasting out your resume to like 100, potential employers. Right? Just send it out. Get it, stickies. Make a little database, stick your stickies on them, and send them out. The problem with that today is that there are a lot of people just like yourselves that are very savvy about how to get a job. And you really have to tailor your resume and your cover letter to meet that job. Because when the person reads it, they're going to say, this person has exactly what I want. You might get like 100 resumes, and 5 people addressed the job or the job requirements that were written on here. So always do that. It's really important. Here's another job. Internship for college credit. So here's another job. So this is looking for express entertainment. And we're doing this live, so the jobs come and go online. So what you might see today might be gone tomorrow. Yeah, but if there's a job you really want, don't hesitate. Apply for it immediately. So there's another job. So that's located in that one. One of the other things that I just didn't have a chance to tell the other class, but I really want to tell you guys. I just want to go to quickly just to warn you about these type of companies. Multi-level marketing. Has anybody ever heard that terminology before? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I've heard it.
Okay. Right. There are scams out there. Actually, I got called for one because I have my resume up on Career Builder. America. They call you, they say, we have an opportunity for you. And I go, okay. And can you come in for an interview tomorrow? Wow, tomorrow, they must really, really, really want me. Whatever's in my resume must really spark them, they want me. So I go online and I research the company, America. I go, oh my God, there's a scam. So what they do is they get you to pay them $200. You pay them $200, and then they give you a little training class, and you go out and sell their insurance. So if somebody tells you, come on in for an interview, and then they kind of hook you and they say, you know what, you're going to make a lot of money, but you have to pay us $200 up front because we're going to train you and everything, don't do it. Don't do it. People do it, and some people say they're successful about doing it, but just be careful. It's $200 for you and for me too is a lot of money. So just be careful of these multi-level marketing scams. Energy companies today are doing that too. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I have not yet seen a company that hasn't participated in one of the schemes. They call it like a pyramid scam. But just be careful. When you go for an interview, if you could call for an interview by a company, Google it. Consumer complaints against the company. It'll come up. If there's a complaint, it'll come up. So just want you guys to be careful about that. Sometimes, because I'm very, I look up everything on the internet, and if I have a question about something in my mind, just look it up. If you have a question about a company or somebody you're looking for, working for, it'll come up. Yes?
I actually had a former student contact me about 2 days ago who tells me, oh, Mr. H, I like if you could help me with a presentation. I was like, okay, sure, yeah, what presentation are you doing? Oh, well, it's something for like, I have to set up for an insurance. I'm like, I was like, what is this, a multi-level marketing? He was like, who are you with Prime America? He's like, yeah, how do you know? I was like, oh man. I was like, it's just, okay, so you want me to help you? Did you already been to the meetings and this and that? Because I was like, yeah, they told you about the rule of 72. He was like, yeah. And I was like, he was like, oh, well, so what, so how do you, oh, well, I sell, and then if I could recruit some people, I was like, so you trying to recruit me on it? like, who sponsored you? Like, who sponsored you? He was like, oh, he's here right next to me.
Oh, no. So there, yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
you know, he could, I was like, no, listen. I have more insurance than I'll ever need. You know, I have health insurance, home insurance, car insurance, life insurance. I mean, it's okay, I'm good. And, but not all are necessarily scams. I mean, even that itself, it's just that the thing is that they're not jobs. Like, it's not what, if you're looking for a job that you want to exchange your time and energy and knowledge for, you know, a few dollars per hour, that doesn't work like that at all. And that's definitely not for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
But there are benefits to it. Some of them, when it comes to, like, let's say, like personal development, some of them do provide good sales training. One that I'm familiar with, Herbalife, which was actually...
right, the first MLM.
Well, the first, I believe, was, what's the big one from
Amway?
Florida? Amway. Herbalife recently, a hedge fund manager or someone, he shorted the stock and it dropped like a lot.
Wow.
But then what he's basically aiming for is for the government to shut them down. He says that it's a pyramid scheme and whatnot. They've offended it. They've been in business for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And then someone else said that maybe within 10 years, that whole pay structure that they have is going to end up like collapsing.
Right.
Because what they said was, like you said, that like what that guy was claiming is that they earn more from recruiting than from selling.
Right.
So eventually, at some point, not going to be able to keep up, but you know, that's still like wait and see what happens.
Yeah. Very important though. And always check with your teacher too. Your teachers are there to help you. You know, if you have any questions about anything or feel a little fuzzy on something, you know, check with your teachers, your parents. Any adult is going to help you if you have a concern about, you know, when you go for a job interview. So that's just a little something that I just wanted to let you guys know. The other ways to get a job, anybody else can think of another way to get a job?
Go into the store. They're hiring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also for your resume, any kind of volunteering work that you've done, put that on your resume, that's important. Also, if you have an interest where you can start a little company, you know, you can get experience by doing that too. Everybody know what a sole proprietorship is? Okay?
It's a business owned by a single person.
Correct, yeah. And you need to have your social security number. There's LLCs, limited liability companies, and you know, you can incorporate too. But it's better to start at your age with probably like a sole proprietorship and get your experience that way. Okay. So, and also, just wanted to, this is what I got from Middlesex County College, and I was really impressed with this because I still go to Middlesex County College. This summer I had to go for accounting so I could get my certificate of eligibility to teach accounting, and this month I start QuickBooks, which is automated accounting, so I can teach that in the future. But Middlesex County College sent me this, and it says, job market looking bleak. They have a cooperative education and internship department where you can go to them and they can help you find a job. So even if you're going, no matter where you're going, to university, community college, anywhere, you know, that there's people out there to help you. Do you have any co-op programs in your high schools? No? No co-op program? Yeah? Co-op program?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you do in your co-op program in the high school?
Well, they're placed at different job locations. It's just that they get credit for their work.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah. This too. This will give you 3 college credits. I know Middlesex is around $459 for 3 credits, so you save yourself some money just by taking advantage of this program. Good. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything specific that they'd like me to talk about? No? Okay, all right, let me just move on to, we have about 8 more minutes. So where are the jobs? So we looked at, you know, you can do a Google search, marketing jobs New Jersey, it doesn't have to be marketing. Indeed.com is a great website, it has a lot of jobs. Monster.com, what I suggested to the other group was go to Monster.com, get an account with them, it's free. You can create your resume there, you can create your cover letter there. They'll give you tips about how to do that. It's very good. And if you're going to college, look at the discipline or the classes that you're taking in college, like what your major is, work backwards. So if you're going for a marketing degree in college, and you're finding that a lot of jobs require Illustrator, Excel, Access, make sure that you take those classes at some point in your career. Like I said, like I'm always going to college because requirements change all the time. So, you know, think about it as building your brand when you're going to school. A company's website, Johnson & Johnson, Universal Music Group, Sony, BMG, all the major companies have websites that have employment related to it. Craigslist, good for entry-level jobs. High school and college co-op programs. Friends and family, volunteering, if you're looking for a job. Ask your family, do they know somebody? Do they know a place where they're working that may be hiring? Newspapers. This Sunday in the Star-Ledger, you know, there were so many jobs in here I couldn't even begin to believe. But one of the things is that sometimes it's seasonal. Right now it seems like a lot of people are hiring. So don't wait. If you're looking for a job, you're a student looking for a job, start looking now, because when summer comes, it's too late. So again, newspapers. How to get a job. I put not. How not to get a job. Number 1, no work experience. Everybody agree? Right? No work experience. No experience at all. Not qualified. In other words, there's a lot of jobs out there, but you might need certain qualifications. If you don't have those qualifications, it's going to probably be difficult to get that job. Email blasting your resume and cover letter. Again, tailor your resume and cover letter towards the job. No knowledge of company prior to interview. In other words, what we just talked about, that MLM scam, like research the company before you go there. If you go there for your interview, you know a little bit about the company, you know what they do, how they work, how they're perceived by the public, what their brand is. Late or too early for your interview. Now, I've interviewed people. I have never seen anybody come in late for an interview. But I've seen people come in really, really early. And what happens is that the receptionist gets very upset because you're in her space, and her space, I don't know, maybe the receptionist wants a cup of coffee. But what happens is sometimes they can be rude. So, you know, if you get there really, really early, sit in your car for a little bit. Usually 20 minutes to your interview or 15 minutes prior to your interview is enough time. Not properly dressed. So, in other words, flip-flops, things like that. It depends on where you're going for the job. Maybe some places it's perfectly acceptable. But some places, like I said, research the job before you go to the interview. This way you kind of get an idea what the culture is. Social media. Everybody have a Facebook page? Okay. Anybody have anything inappropriate on their Facebook page? Or YouTube? Or Instagram?
People can search you.
If you do, and you're going for an interview, because now today, It's sort of like, oh, you know, I'm hiring. So I have 3 people that I'm hiring today. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to Google your name. And I'm going to see where you come up. And then I'm going to learn a little bit about you before you get there for the job. So make sure that if anything inappropriate, take it down, or delete your account, or block it out. Not believing in yourself. Sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too, you think, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, you know, whatever. You are. You are. Every single solitary one of you will get a job. You just have to be persistent. You have to be resilient. In other words, if you get turned down for the job, don't take it personally.
And I think a lot of people that they go, like they look for one job and they get discouraged, they stop. But one job, like going to one interview or one job, applying to one job, and then going to a job, they have to apply again.
Exactly. That's exactly true. You might have to apply for 10 jobs. You might have to apply for even more jobs. But sometimes, like once you get to a point where you're applying for a lot of jobs and getting a lot of rejection, you have to look back at yourself and say, is there something that I'm missing in myself that's stopping me from getting a job? You might have to take a different path. But that's the whole presentation. If you have any questions, let me know. How was your trip here today? Good? Yeah, cold, I know. Cold. After this seminar,